Well, thanks very much, Kelly. And we are just about officially through the first half of the Major League Baseball season. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but it's time for me to hand out my Fantasy Flash first half awards for this season. Let's start with the good guys. Alex Rodriguez, New York Yankees. We all know tremendous season thus far, 30 home runs in the first half, but a little bit overshadowed by the Yankees' sub-500 record through 80-plus games, but still deserves a lot of credit, and he's carried pretty much every squad he's been on. Prince Fielder of the Milwaukee Brewers has busted out this year. Son of Cecil Fielder obviously possesses many of the same traits other than body size. Tremendous power, 29 homers, second only to A-Rod in the majors. Having a great season, deserves a lot of credit. Gary Sheffield of the Tigers. You know, a lot of people may say, Magli Ordonez, what about him? Agami, you're screwing this up. What's the matter with you? How can you overlook the 370 average? But Gary Sheffield, more home runs, more home runs, more stolen bases, and more runs scored than Magli Ordonez. He's more of a five-category player, whereas Mags has, he's had the great average, but not as much power, and he's had Sheffield on base all year to drive in. And Dan Harron on the mound for the Oakland A's. Could have gone with Johan, could have gone with Jake Peavy, but you know what? You're pitching for the Oakland A's. You don't get a lot of run support. Harron just having a tremendous season in Oakland, and I really want to give him the credit. He gets my first half Cy Young Award. Now let's move on. Of course, with all the good comes the bad as well. There have been some guys that have just not lived up to expectations thus far. You can look at guys who've been injured, B.J. Ryan, Miguel Tejada, and so forth, guys who you just expected big years from, but they've been hurt. They've been relatively durable, though. But there are guys out there that have played the whole season, and they just have no excuses to fall back on. Andrew Jones of the Braves. To my knowledge, the nation of Curacao has disavowed any knowledge of this man's existence. They want nothing to do with him, hitting just over 200 coming into the first half finale with San Diego this evening. Jermaine Dye of the White Sox, another guy that a lot of people expected big things from, just hasn't been there. Only 39 RBIs, and the OBP, on base percentage, just over 270. Very disturbing numbers for a big-time slugger like Jermaine Dye. Scott Rowland of the Cardinals just hasn't provided any protection for Albert Pujols in St. Louis. They've had to put Juan Encarnacion up in the cleanup hole for a lot of this season because Rowland just hasn't been getting it done. He's been in the lineup, but he has not performed. And finally, Barry Zito of the San Francisco Giants. This guy had the tremendous offseason contract with the Giants, skipped from Oakland over to San Francisco, and he's done nothing but disappoint. ERA close to 5, only with 6 wins, not a ton of strikeouts, which he's never been known for anyway, and it's just been a rough go with the Giants for the entire season. So for these guys out there, I hope you haven't had too much trouble if you've drafted them or traded for them, but somebody has to get the booby prize, and these 4 guys are the ones who get it in my book. I've shaved my head for the second half. I hope it grows back, and I hope it brings everybody some good luck. I want to remind everybody to visit my blog at thefantasyflash.blogspot.com and email me at thefantasyflash@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments about the Fantasy Flash. And you know what, just tell me what you want to tell me, because we all make mistakes, and hopefully we'll have a better second half. Also, remember to visit ComcastSportsnet.com for all your news from around the Mid-Atlantic. So let's go back to Kelly in the studio.